This is easily one of the most disturbing and unexplained experiences I've ever been part of, and even now, I still don't fully understand what we found that day. A few months ago, my friend Daniel and I were exploring abandoned locations while hiking through a remote part of the Nevada desert. We were filming what we thought would just be another adventure video, but it slowly turned into something that felt less like exploration and more like a real-life horror story, because we found a cave that doesn't appear on any official map, and according to experts we later contacted, it shouldn't exist at all. Looking back now, there were warning signs we completely ignored.
The hike had already taken us miles away from civilization. No phone signal, no roads, just dry wind moving across endless rock formations. Late in the afternoon, Daniel noticed a dark opening hidden behind collapsed stone. At first, it looked natural, but the shape was too perfect. A cave entrance. What immediately felt strange wasn't how it looked. It was how quiet everything became around it. No birds, no insects, not even wind. The silence felt heavy, almost intentional. Still, curiosity won. We turned on our cameras and stepped inside. The temperature dropped instantly. Outside was desert heat. Inside felt cold and stale, like air trapped for centuries. Our footsteps echoed in a strange way, slightly delayed, as if the cave were larger than it appeared. About 20 feet in, daylight disappeared behind us. The deeper we walked, the narrower the tunnel became, and then my flashlight passed across the wall, revealing carvings. Hundreds of figures were etched into the stone. They looked human, but wrong. Long arms, twisted bodies, enormous eyes carved deep into the rock. At first we thought it was ancient art, but the longer we looked, the more unsettling it became. The carvings didn't look decorative. They looked like records, almost like someone was documenting something they were afraid of. And every single figure faced the same direction, deeper into the cave, away from the entrance. That's when my camera started reacting to sound. The audio levels began jumping as if voices were nearby. We stopped moving. The cave was completely silent. No dripping water, no wind, nothing. Later, when we reviewed the footage, faint whispering could be heard, multiple voices overlapping. At one point, it almost sounded like a word, but we couldn't understand it. And somehow, that made it worse. For a moment, we actually relaxed. We convinced ourselves we had just discovered some unknown archaeological site. Something exciting, something explainable. Then the tunnel opened into a massive chamber, and everything changed. My flashlight moved across the ground. At first, I thought the shapes were rocks. Then I noticed a skull, then another, and another. Hundreds of human skeletons sat upright in a perfect circle. None were scattered. None had fallen. They were positioned deliberately, all facing the center of the room. And in the middle stood a massive stone door carved into the cave wall. Dust covered everything except the ground directly in front of it, like something had moved there recently. Symbols covered the surface of the door. Months later, someone online attempted to translate them. The message read, "Do not open again. Not do not open again." Meaning whatever was behind the door had already been released once. That's when we noticed the gap. The stone door was slightly open, just enough for darkness to spill through. Neither of us spoke. We turned around and started heading back, walking fast, then faster. Our footsteps echoed louder now. The tunnel felt longer than before. Too long. We should have seen daylight, but there was nothing ahead, just endless darkness. We stopped. The entrance was gone. That's when we heard it. Movement. Slow. Dragging across stone behind us. I raised the camera with shaking hands and pointed it into the darkness. For a second, nothing happened. Then two reflective shapes appeared, blinking. Too high to belong to any animal, too still to be human. Daniel whispered, barely audible. We weren't alone, and the recording cuts off. We searched for that cave again weeks later, using GPS coordinates, drone footage, everything, but we never found it. And sometimes, when I replay the recording late at night, the whispering sounds are still there, even in parts where no audio should exist.